have a little bit of luck, but once Terry started working with a lot of the young guys and the front office started signing some free agents and supplementing the team, I think that's what ended up being so good about playing here.
Terry, if you don't mind, what he meant to the club?
Well, during my tenure here, we made some good signs, as everybody knows. This guy was one of the best. I had seen Bartolo when I managed the Angels, as Buck alluded to in his comments. The last time I had seen Bartolo pitch live, he beat us in Anaheim. He pitched a 2-hit shutout, 9 innings. The last pitch was the 128th pitch of the game. It was 98 miles an hour. The next time I see Bartolo, he's throwing 88 miles an hour, and the ball, he can't straighten it out. Everything sinks. And I've never seen anybody make the adjustment from being an absolute power guy to a finesse pitcher with great command of all of the pitches he threw, the changeup, the slider, the fastball, and he could go through a lineup 3 times with 1 pitch and have 4 different pitches because he sunk it here, he sunk it up there, he sunk it over there, and he sunk it down there, and nothing was ever in the middle of the plate. And for me, what he did in the clubhouse is showed all of the other pitchers, you don't have to throw 100 to be successful. It's command your fastball. And that was the art he did. And his, what he did with Jurice Familia and, some of those young Latin pitchers to, hey, look, you all have good arms, learn how to command your fastball. And I think that's why every time he pitched, everybody was at attention. And as Buck said, on the other side of the field, there was a lot of nights I would see hitters just shake their head walking back to the dugout 0 for 4. So he meant a lot to our ball club, and he won a lot of games. He ate up a lot of innings. He was a special guy to have on our team.
Howie?
This is actually for both of you, Bartolo first and then Terry. Most of us, Bartolo, when we think back on your career, we think of the home run and we think of the behind-the-back flip in Miami. But is there another moment, maybe another game from your Mets career that stands out that you kind of treasure?
Que muchos que cuando piensan en ti, ellos piensan en el home run que diste o cuando tiraste la bola de por atrás. Pero hay otro juego que es tu favorito en tu memoria.
Yo tengo muchos juegos en mi memoria. Vamos a poner cuando están tirando los giros contra los Yankees. Fue una experiencia bien bonita para mí. Y cuando tiré los 9-0 contra Miami, que Terry me dijo, este es tu último bateador, y si no, tú vas a jugar. Y gracias a Dios que el Chiro falló con fly center field.
Yeah, there are a bunch of games that I have in my memory, but there was the one where I had that no-hitter going on against the Yankees, and then there was the other 9-0 game that I threw against Miami that Terry said, hey, like, this is like the last hitter that you have right here, and luckily the hitter flied out, and that was the end of it there.
Yeah, I have one for you. You talk about professionalism. Yeah, we all knew, and as Buck again alluded to, this guy was a better athlete than people give him credit for. The backflip was one thing, held runners, great fielder. We all knew prodigious power. Pat Rustler's told me one time, because Pat when he was the hitting guy here, he ran the pitcher's hitting, and he told me one day, he said, you know what's going to happen one of these days? Someone's going to throw this guy a cookie, and he's going to ambush him, and he did. But the biggest part, one of the biggest night I had with him, we were playing in Anaheim, and Bartolo was going to start a game, and I had burnt the bullpen up pretty bad a few days before. And he starts out the game, and they got 2 or 3 in the first inning. They got a couple in the second inning, and he was getting knocked around pretty good. He walked in the dugout, and he came up to me, and he said, I'll get you to the 7th inning. Do not worry about me. He knew the situation. He knew the bullpen was shot. And he said, don't worry about me. So in the major leagues, when your career is about numbers, he put the team first and not himself. And I respected him from that time on. This guy could have done anything he could do. And that showed me what a professional he really was. And that has stood out to me, and I've told pitchers about it. I've told people about it. This guy was more than just a good pitcher and a good athlete. He was a true professional.
Jared?
Hey, Bartolo, 2 questions. One, you played longer in Anaheim and Cleveland than he did here. Why did it connect so well with you here in New York? And secondly, was it tough to, how tough was it to retire, to realize that you were done pitching? Thank you.
Que tú jugaste más temporadas con Anaheim y Cleveland, so ¿por qué tú te pudiste conectar tanto con este equipo? Y si fue difícil para ti retirar.
Para mí Cleveland fue uno de los equipos más importantes porque me dio la oportunidad para subir a Grandes Ligas. Si no ha sido por mi padre y mi familia, querían que me retirara con Cleveland. Con Anaheim tuve buena temporada, pero entonces cuando llegué aquí a los meses, la fanaticada creo que para mí me dieron mi mayor apoyo y para mí fue lo mejor que pasé.
For me, yeah, I'm grateful for the Cleveland organization because they were the ones that gave me that opportunity and that started my career. If it was up to my parents and the rest of my family, they probably would have wanted me to retire there in Cleveland. Yeah, and I also had good years in Anaheim, but once I was done there, this was the fan base that accepted me the most and that supported me the most. So that's why I felt really comfortable.
Bartolo, saludos, felicidades, hermano, tu retiro. Si tuvieras que agradecerle a alguien tu regreso al béisbol después de haber estado en Altamira, ¿a quiénes o a quién? Terry, you experienced Dominican Winter Ball. What do you think? So, how is important for the Dominican players coming to the big league?
This question's for me? Or-
Yeah, one-on-one.
Well, for me, I love winter ball because winter ball is part of when you talk about developing a player, winter ball, you better learn how to win because that's what it's about. It's about going out there and playing the game the right way and winning. And that in the minor leagues, sometimes they push winning aside as far as playing and trying to develop your skills. In winter ball, you have to learn how to win. And that's why I'm a true believer in winter ball. And when you have young prospects, they need to go down and they need to face that. And when you face those fan bases in winter ball and how they love the game and respect the game, you can come up here and you can deal with the people in New York City. And because it's the same way, and he certainly is proof of that.
Para mí fue cuando fui a Puerto Rico en ver el Premio Mundial, que regresé a República Dominicana, me iba a la hacienda y me acostaba, o sea, en el play me acostaba, dejaba a mi familia en mi casa, vinieron después la esposa mía a hablar conmigo que si no quería regresar, después los amigos míos, y quien me convenció más para regresar otra vez para Grandes Ligas, que me dio para una oportunidad con Yankee, a Tony Peña. Tengo que agradecerle el regreso.
For me, it was when I was in, for me, what ended up getting me back into the game was when I went to Puerto Rico. I went to go pitch over there for a bit, and then I came back to the Dominican Republic. And I was talking to my wife, and we were talking about making a comeback to the game. But if there's one person that I could really thank for getting me back into baseball, it's Tony Peña. And he was with the Yankees at the time, and I really have to thank him for that.
Bartolo, when you joined the Mets, you did not throw 95 to 100 miles an hour. Yet you still pitched like 200 innings in your 3 years here. I just want to know, what adjustments did you make when you joined the Mets? Because obviously you were not throwing hard like you used to.
Que cuando tú llegaste a los Mets, ya tú no estabas tirando 95 a 100 millas. ¿Quieres saber cuál ajuste tú hiciste para seguir teniendo éxito y tirando 200 innings cada año?
Yo comencé, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Tengo que agradecer un poco a Gary Mado, que me dio un consejo en el 96 para tirar dos posturas, pero no me gustaba, como dice. Cuando tiré los 9-0 en Anaheim en el 2002, ahí comencé a tirar dos posturas. Entonces lo que hice fue que comencé a quitarle mucho a la bola. No me importaba tirar que ya 95, 96, 97, sino quería poner la bola donde yo quería, 88, 90, que eso era lo más importante para mí. De ahí para acá fue que yo comencé a sacar más agua.
Yeah, so I have to give credit. To Greg Maddux, who gave me some advice in '96, and he taught me, or he told me that I should be throwing two-seamers more often. But at the time, I didn't really like throwing. I don't like throwing two-seamers. But then that 9-0 game that I was telling you about, I started kind of implementing it a little bit more there. And as I grew as a pitcher, I started to implement the command over the actual stuff, the velocity. So I think that's what ended up helping me when I was here.
Bartolo, primeramente felicidades. 21 años en Grandes Ligas, parece muy difícil, tú lo lograste. Tuviste el privilegio de jugar en 11 diferentes equipos, diferentes clubhouse, diferentes managers. ¿Cuál fue el manager que más se adaptó Bartolo Colón hacia él? ¿Y cuál fue el equipo que Bartolo Colón hoy puede decir, lo sentí como si fuera mi casa?
Es que jugué con muchos managers diferentes. Y uno de los managers que mejor me llevé de todito en el después del fue con Bob Mayo, el manager que está con San Igual. Ese me ayudó mucho.
¿Y el equipo que tú considerarías tu casa, cuál sería?
Ahora mismo con él, tengo que primero decir sobre Cleveland, aunque ese fue mi primer casa, pero sí puedo agradecerte a los maestros.
Yeah, I think the manager that really adjusted to me the most and helped me the most aside from Terry was Bob Melvin. And that was when I was pitching for his team. He's now with San Diego, and my first home was Cleveland, but now I'm here with the Mets, and I feel really comfortable here.
Buenas tardes, Bartolo, y a todos los que están por acá. Grato saludarte y verte por acá. También agradeciendo al cónsul general de la República Dominicana, el hijo Jaques, que vino a darte todo el apoyo en este momento tan importante de tu carrera. Bartolo, yéndonos un poco ya a esa época, residías en Navarrete y comenzaste esa carrera. Cuando recibes ya ese llamado de que te van a firmar y todo eso, o sea, en ese momento, ¿qué piensa Bartolo, tomando en cuenta lo que has recorrido y convertirse en el lanzador de habla hispana con más victorias en las Grandes Ligas? ¿Cómo describes ese hecho, de ese día que te llama Cleveland, te voy a firmar, hasta este momento?
Es que para mí se me disfrutó mucho, porque cuando me llamaron, como vamos a suponer como ahora, que mi padre siguió conmigo para firmar, cuando fuimos a la casa del Chilote llena, no llegaron los papeles, no pudo mi papá firmar, y al otro día entonces firmó otra persona por mi padre, Ramón, que es uno de Clujaba allá en Santiago, que le agradezco muchísimo, pero para mí, cuando me firmaron, porque me firmaron fue para pichar en el 94, no en el 93, pero gracias a Dios vieron dos pitches que se fueron en bola y me dieron la oportunidad en el 93 y pude hacer mi trabajo y viajar de una vez y llegar hasta donde llegué, gracias a Dios.
For me, when I signed, it was a really meaningful moment. Cleveland called me. They said that they were ready to sign me, and when I went to the house to go sign, my father came and everything, and they didn't have the paperwork ready. So I had to wait the next day, and then my father wasn't available that day. So someone else signed on his behalf. And when they signed me, it wasn't with the intention for me to pitch in '93. It was with the intention for me to pitch in '94. But some guys struggled and they couldn't pitch. So they called me in 1993, and that's where I got my opportunity. And for that, I'm forever grateful.
Howie.
Bartolo, you were able to hang on long enough to surpass Juan Marichal's record for the most wins by a Division I pitcher. Do you know Juan? Have you had contact with him? And what does that record mean to you?
Que tú pudiste pasar Juan Marichal en victorias, si tú lo conoces y si tú has podido hablar con él.
No, yo Juan Marichal, la primera vez que lo vi en el Estadio Cibao, cuando tiró una vez que tiró la primera bola, y después en el 2006, o sea, que me entregó el premio Sayón aquí en Nueva York, y después lo vi un par de veces en Montecristo, pero tenía mucho contacto con él.
Yeah, so I first met him in the Dominican Republic in the Cibao Stadium, and then I spoke to him a little bit in 2005, 2006 when I won the Cy Young, and he and he gave me the award. Other than that, I've seen him a few other times, but we haven't really had many conversations.
What does that record mean to him?
¿Y para ti qué significa ese récord?
Nada, que para mí significaba mucho los récords, no desde el comienzo, porque que me dio a mí la fuerza para yo seguir trabajando en pelota fuerte. Mi pana Denis Martínez, porque dice porque Denis porque dijo que no podía partirle el récord, y porque se me metió en la mente, voy atrás de, si recuerdo, de Pedro Martínez Cristiano, pues entonces ahí le caí atrás a todo esto hasta que lo logré, pero para mí significó mucho partirle el récord a Marichal.
For me, it meant a lot. There was a point where Dennis Martinez would say that I was never going to get to that point. And then there were a few other Dominican guys that I needed to pass, whether it was Pedro. So for me, it was really meaningful to be able to get to that record and eventually break it.
Jerry? Bartolo, we've seen clips on your Instagram, I think, of you still pitching and hitting. Are you still playing baseball? Are you still playing like at senior leagues or adult leagues at home?
Que en tu Instagram tú siempre estás subiendo videos que tú estás pichando y bateando, y si tú estás jugando en una liga.
No, yo lo que practico con el hijo mío y jugando softball, que ya es para eso que ya...
No, I'm just there practicing with my son and I also play softball from time to time because that's all you can really do.
Mark?
Bartolo, congratulations. You've mentioned your relationship with fans here. You were only here a couple seasons. Why do you think you were able to connect so well with Mets fans?
Que tú hablas mucho de la relación con los fanáticos de aquí. Tú solamente estabas aquí por 3 años. ¿Por qué tú sientes que ustedes conectaron también?
¿Cómo te digo? Cuando yo iba a home play, como te dice, que se me caía el coco. Algo que le dije al club que me lo hiciera mucho más grande, porque ya por ahí los fanáticos les gustaba cuando se me caía el caco, como me ponchaba mucho y mucho swing en blanco. Cada vez comenzaban a reírse mucho de mí, ahí fue que vi que la fanaticada de los Mets, para mí, son lo más importante, no lo más importante de todo, sino lo que me da más alegría.
So for me, it was when I would come up to home plate and I would hit, and sometimes my helmet would fall off. So I told the clubby to make it a little bigger, just because I knew that the fans would get a good reaction out of it, and I think that's what made them so special. It's not that they're the most important to me, but they're the ones that did give me a good amount of happiness.
Bartolo, felicidades por este gran día que tienen los Mets, en especial para ti. ¿Tienes tú agradecimiento especial para Charlie Manuel, instructor de Cleveland, cuando tú subiste al equipo grande y que más luego se convirtió en manager de los Phillies de Filadelfia?
Es que le agradezco mucho a Charlie Mario, porque cuando era hitting coach hablaba mucho conmigo. Después también fue manager de Cleveland, que también me ayudó mucho, y le agradezco mucho porque siempre me tenía mucho nombre y la pasé muy bien con él.
I'm grateful for Charlie Manuel. When he was a hitting coach in Cleveland, he used to help me a lot, and obviously when he became manager there, he helped me a lot. He spoke to me, gave me a lot of good advice, and no, he treated me really well. So I'm forever grateful for him.
Bartolo, después de 21 años en Grandes Ligas, muchas cosas aprendidas. Mucha gente se va a disfrutar su dinero para su casa, pero otros prefieren devolver ese conocimiento a ligas menores, pequeñas ligas. Vas tú a coger ese camino de enseñar a los demás, AAA, clase A, AA, y si has recibido ofertas, ¿para qué tipo de trabajo has recibido luego de tu retiro?
No, todavía no he recibido oferta por ahora. Por ahí yo quiero pasar un poquito más de tiempo con mi familia, y después ya dentro de 1 o 2 años, quién sabe si me gustaría hasta 6 coches por ahí, o ayudar ahí los chamaquitos como lanzado, ¿qué es?
Y lo de Dubái, perdón, que se me quedó. Sé que va a viajar a Dubái y me dijeron por ahí ya que está reservado el vuelo para la Liga de Dubái. ¿Cuál es el acuerdo y qué se ha hablado de eso? ¿Y qué tú piensas de esa liga que ya hay muchos veteranos como tú que van a hacer el viaje en noviembre?
No, es que ahorita yo tengo que seguir hablando con Víctor para ver todo lo que va a pasar para allá, como se dice, y tengo que hablar muchas cosas con él todavía.
For me personally, no one has reached out for any coaching offers yet. Right now, I think I want to spend more time with my family. Maybe in a year or two, if someone comes calling, I'll entertain it. But I would like to help kids. I would like to help kids the same way that I was helped. But yeah, as of right now, there's nothing in the horizon. And as far as the Dubai League, there's still a lot of conversations that need to be had. So we're still waiting on that.
Bartolo, ¿qué significó para ti jugar béisbol en la República Dominicana? Y si se puede saber cuál fue el bono que recibiste a la hora de firmar.
No, significó mucho para mí porque la liga de invierno, ahora hay muchos peloteros que no le dan la oportunidad, pero en aquellos tiempos, cuando uno jugaba, todos los años ya había menos lesiones, como dice, y me gustó mucho ver la liga de invierno. Y el bono fueron $3,000, o sea, me dieron 2,500, ustedes darle 500 a los
Pitching in the Winter League was really special for me. Back then, it's not the same way that it is now. There were more opportunities for us just because there were less injuries back then. And when I first signed my first contract, my bonus was $3,000, but it was really $2,500 because I had to give $500 to the guys that helped me get signed.
Bartolo, where did the nickname Big Sexy come from? Who gave that to you?
¿De dónde vino el apodo Big Sexy?
No, así, me puso el Big Sexy, que, o sea, llegué un día al club y encontré esta camiseta que dice que Big Sexy, ¿quién me pondría eso? Ya me están diciendo gordo, como digo yo. Y después vino mi abrazo y me dijo, no, eso es algo para ti, por ahí me pusieron Big Sexy y me quedé ahí y me gustó.
So Noah Syndergaard was the one who gave me the nickname Big Sexy. There was one day I come into the clubhouse and there's a T-shirt that says Big Sexy, and I look at it and I'm like, who put this on my shirt? I thought it looks like they're calling me I think they're calling me fat. And then Syndergaard came up to me and was like, no, that's a good thing. And so yeah, the nickname stuck and I ended up liking it.
Bueno, Bartolo, felicidades por tu gran carrera. Soy Leo Sánchez de República Dominicana. Increíble, la pregunta que yo te iba a hacer era la que anteriormente hicieron. ¿Qué recuerdo te hace ese cuadrangular que conectaste aquí en el City Field?
No, para mí significó mucho, o sea, eso fue en San Diego.
En San Diego, sí, perdón.
Yo lo único que cuando iba corriendo pensaba que siempre me iba jalando un poquito la base, me iba poniendo un poquito más que nunca llegaba, pero cuando llegué a home play, para mí, que encontré los dos que estaban en base, que me saludaron, yo pensaba para mí que era un sueño todavía.
It was special hitting that home run in San Diego. The only thing I could think about when I was running the bases were that those bases were getting further and further away from me at the time. But no, once I scored and once I came home and the two guys that were on base were there waiting for me, I just felt like it was a dream.
Justin.
Hey Bartolo, right here in the middle. I remember you mentioning in 2015 that you loved the nickname Big Sexy, but you didn't consider yourself sexy. Do you think you're sexy now?
Tú dijiste que te encantaba el apodo de Big Sexy, pero que tú no pensabas que tú eras sexy. ¿Tú sientes que estás sexy ahora?
One or two more in the back.
Bartolo, de todos los que tú has tenido en Grandes Ligas, para ti, ¿cuál ha sido el más especial? El que tú más valoras.
Es que hay mucho, si se puede valorar, y tú sabes que ahí está el premio Sayón, que eso fue para mí algo grande, que le doy gracias a Dios por ese Sayón, que se lo regalé a mi padre, que para mí eso es lo más especial.
for me, winning the Cy Young was special to me. It was a big deal for me. It was the award that I ended up gifting to my father because I thought it would mean a lot to him. But yeah, that's the one for me.
Eligio Ángeles, cónsul de la República Dominicana en la ciudad de Nueva York. Saludo para todos. Mis afectos para mi compueblano, mi coterráneo, Bartolo Colón. Sabrán ustedes que los dominicanos llevamos en nuestra ADN, en nuestra sangre, la condición de amantes del béisbol y que podemos sentarnos en cualquier micrófono y comenzar a hablar de peloteros, de récord, de historias, de estrellas de este deporte. Y es un grato honor para nosotros estar hoy aquí en este escenario de los Mets de Nueva York, en este homenaje que se le rinde a este distinguido dominicano que entre los casi 920 dominicanos que han llegado a Grandes Ligas tiene el mérito de haber roto el récord de Juan Marichal en victorias, y a otros distinguidos latinos también que avanzaron en esa carrera tan difícil de ser pitcher. Entonces nosotros agradecemos a los Mets de Nueva York en este escenario por haber dedicado el día antes del juego que tienen hoy para guardar este uniforme, sacar este uniforme, el número 40 de Bartolo Colón, y hacerle ese gran homenaje a este gran dominicano. Mis felicitaciones, Bartolo, y mi felicitación también a los Mets de Nueva York.
At this time, we'd like to present Bartolo with his jersey. So Terry, I believe we'll have some photo ops with Bartolo.
Bring it down a little.
Yeah, it's always little.
You guys tell us when you're good.
Good.
Yeah.
What else?
Got it.